So I'm here with Dan Dennett at the TED Summit in Banff, and we have stolen away from the main session, and we are in a bar and about to have a conversation about the misadventure we had in discussing free will online in a series of articles and blog posts. I mean, you and I are part of a community, and a pretty visible part of a community that prides itself on being willing to change its opinions and views more or less in real time under pressure from better arguments and better data. And I think I said in my article in response to your review of my book Free Will that this is a very rare occurrence. I mean, to see someone relinquish his cherished opinion more or less on the spot under pressure from an interlocutor, that's about as rare as seeing a supernova overhead, and it really shouldn't be, because there's nothing that tokens intellectual honesty more than a willingness to step away from one's views once they are shown to be in error. And I'm not saying we're necessarily going to get there in this conversation about free will, but there was something that went awry in our written exchanges, tonally, and neither of us felt good about the result. And so, again, we'll talk about free will as well, but I think this conversation is proceeding along two levels, where there's the thing we're talking about philosophically, which is free will, but then there's just the way in which I want us to both be sensitive to getting hijacked into unproductive lines that make it needlessly hard to talk about what is just a purely intellectual, philosophical matter, and one of great interest, surprisingly great interest to our audiences. There's no topic that I've touched that has surprised me more in the degree to which people find it completely captivating to think about. And I know you and I both think it's a very consequential topic. It's unlike many topics in philosophy. This one really does meet ethics and public policy in a way that is important. So, but one thing you all should know in listening to this is that we have one microphone. Perhaps this is a good thing, because we really can't interrupt each other, and we're just going to pass this microphone back and forth. And I now give you Dan Dennett.
Thanks, Sam. This is a beautiful setting. If we can't agree on some things here, we shouldn't be in this business. I want to go back one step further in how this got started. You sent me the manuscript of your book, Free Will, and asked me for my advice. And I didn't have time to read it. I just told you, no, I'm sorry, I don't have time. And then when the book came out, I read it and said, I forgot that we'd had that exchange. I said, I wish you'd showed it to me, because I think you made some big mistakes here, and I would love to have tried to talk you out of them. Too late. And then time passed, and then we had you said you wanted me still to say what I thought the mistakes were. And that's when I wrote my piece for your blog and for naturalism. And it certainly struck you wrong. And I guess I regret a few bits of tone there, but I think everything I said there is defensible. And in particular, I did use Rappaport's rules, contrary to what you say. If you look at the first paragraph of my piece, I applaud the book for doing a wonderful, clear job of setting out a position which I largely agreed with. And then I said you went off the rails a little later. So I did try to articulate your view, and I haven't heard you complain about that articulation of your view. And I said what we agree about, and I even said what I've learned from that book. So I did follow Rappaport's rules quite well. But we can just set that aside if you want and get down to what remains of the issue.